Welcome to the Action Hero Podcast. Get ready for a double dose of thrilling tales today, folks. You've shared some exciting material with us.
Yes, we have.
And we're going to unpack two action-packed stories for you, right here, right now.
Sounds like fun.
First up, imagine a mage who's traded his spells for six-shooters. Not just any six-shooters, but one with a mystical history. We'll delve into the story of Marcus, a mage-turned-gunslinger on the hunt for a legendary revolver in a world teeming with rival sorcerers and ancient curses. Your sources paint a vivid picture of magic clashing with gunpowder.
Yeah, it's a cool concept, magic and guns.
Yeah, and we're going to explore the most electrifying moments with you. Then prepare for a musical adventure with a twist.
Yeah.
Our second story features Finn, a bard who swaps his lute for a musket that fires musical notes. His mission, to rescue a royal heir while facing enchanted creatures.
Sounds crazy.
It sounds wild, right?
And it does, yeah.
We'll dissect how melodies and musket fire combine in this extraordinary quest. So you're looking to gain knowledge quickly and thoroughly, and you appreciate those aha moments. That's exactly what we're aiming for. Let's jump into these two incredible action stories you brought to us. Let's start with Marcus.
Okay.
This mage-turned-gunslinger.
Right.
This isn't your typical, run-of-the-mill magic user, is he?
No, he's not. The sources paint a picture of someone who, even before losing his magic, was drawn to a more visceral approach, more direct approach to magic, you could say, compared to the traditional mages out there.
Right, like he wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty kind of thing.
Exactly. He's described as having a scar and a limp. Both apparently earned from his methods, not from slipping on a banana peel or something, from using his magic in a more physical way.
Oh, interesting. So almost like a brawler with magic.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. He even earned himself a certain reputation for it. There's a certain recklessness, a boldness in his style, not your typical careful, bookish mage, that's for sure.
That definitely sets the stage for what happens next. This duel that changes everything for him. It's described as brutal. His opponent's final curse. It actually severed his connection to magic. It's almost like
having a part of yourself ripped away. The very essence of who you are is gone. And in Marcus's case, it was his ability to wield magic.
Right. And you can imagine that kind of loss would be devastating, right? Like, what do you do when the very foundation of your being is suddenly taken away?
It has to be a massive blow. It's like losing a sense almost, like losing your sight or your hearing. And the sources actually highlight that this experience was incredibly difficult for him. But, and this is where things get interesting.
Yeah, tell me more.
He adapts.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't wallow in self-pity. He doesn't give up. Instead, he throws himself into a completely different world. The world of, guns.
Oh, from spells to six-shooters? That's quite the change.
It is. He dives into these archaic schematics, studying weaponry, really trying to understand how these things work. And what he finds is that gunpowder. Well, it's pretty effective, especially in a world where, let's face it, not everyone could just throw fireballs around.
Right, so it's almost like leveling the playing field in a way.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. He's finding a new way to exert power, a new way to fight. And in this world, where magic is still very much a reality, guns offer a different kind of advantage, a more tangible one.
And then he hears rumors of this incredible revolver, not your ordinary firearm, right? This thing is said to be made of.
Not iron, no. It's described as being infused with magic, powerful magic at that.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's not just like a glow-in-the-dark kind of magic. This revolver, it has 6 chambers. And each one is said to be capable of bending reality itself. We're talking about a serious artifact here.
Bending reality. That sounds intense.
It is. It's the kind of power that, even someone like Marcus, who had his own magical abilities, would be drawn to. It's that allure of the extraordinary, of the impossible.
Okay, so the chase is on.
Yes.
And he ends up in a ghost town.
Right. A classic setting for a story like this, wouldn't you say? Deserted, full of secrets, and probably more than a few dangers lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, it sets the mood. But Marcus isn't alone in this, is he?
No, he's not. The sources mention a companion, a young woman named Jenny. And he's quite a character.
Tell me about her.
She's described as resourceful, skilled at picking locks. Apparently, she's unfazed by danger.
Oh, wow. So the complete opposite of a damsel in distress.
Yeah. The sources make it pretty clear that she can handle herself. She's not afraid of a little or a lot of trouble. And her skills, they're very much grounded in the real world, picking locks, being quick on her feet. She provides a nice contrast to Marcus's more mystical leanings.
So they enter this ghost town looking for this magical revolver, and why do they end up? A saloon.
Of course.
Because what's a good Western story without a saloon?
Exactly. But this isn't your typical saloon crowd.
I have a feeling it's not.
They encounter a creature, human-like in form, but with these glowing eyes. That immediately tells you something's not right.
Yeah. Like, this isn't just some drunk cowboy who's had one too many.
Exactly. It's otherworldly, potentially very dangerous. And it's a classic image, right?
Yeah.
Glowing eyes in the dark. It immediately signals a supernatural threat.
Yeah. So a gunfight breaks out.
Right.
Like, it's a Western. There's got to be a shootout.
And it doesn't go as you'd expect. Jenny's bullets, they're completely ineffective. They just pass right through this creature.
Oh, wow.
But Marcus, remember his gun? The one he's carrying? It's described as having these arcane symbols inscribed on it. And that gun, it actually manages to knock the creature back.
It's almost like he's found a way to combine his knowledge of magic with this more mundane technology, right?
That's exactly what it seems like.
Yeah.
The arcane inscriptions, they suggest he's found a way to imbue his weapon with some of the power he once wielded directly. It's really cool to see that kind of ingenuity, especially in someone who's lost so much.
But then things get really interesting. In the middle of the fight, his revolver jams. Like the magical one, the one they're looking for.
Yeah, and not just a simple jam. It glows red hot. It's almost as if
Oh, no.
the magic within is resisting. It's almost like the weapon has a mind of its own.
Oh, wow. That adds a whole other layer to things.
It does. It's not just an object of power. It's something more than that, something potentially dangerous in its own right.
So what happens next?
Well, it's Jenny who saves the day. Remember her resourcefulness?
Oh, yeah.
She creates this makeshift bomb, throws it at the preacher.
Yeah.
But it's Marcus who makes the critical move. He shoots the fuse with this, like, perfect aim, causing this huge explosion that takes the creature out. Talk about teamwork.
They really complement each other, don't they? Like, they both have their strengths, and together they're a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It highlights the value of different skill sets. You don't always need raw power to overcome obstacles.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about ingenuity, quick thinking, and a little bit of luck.
And beneath the ashes, they find the revolver.
Right there, waiting for them. But it's cold, and it's humming faintly, almost like a warning.
Hey.
Marcus actually makes a dark joke about it. Something about the revolver having a slightly cursed history.
Mm-hmm.
But Jenny, she's just ready for the next adventure. She's like, what's next? No time to dwell on the supernatural.
That's a pretty good summary of their dynamic, isn't it? Marcus, the guy who's seen some things, who understands the darkness, and Jenny, who's just fearless and ready to take on whatever comes next.
They're a great pair. And they leave the ghost town, the revolver in Marcus's hand. He feels that power again. But it's different this time. It's channeled through this weapon. And he sees it as a new way to fight the monsters out there, both the literal ones and the metaphorical ones.
It's like a symbol of his resilience, right? Like, he lost so much, but he found a new way to fight, a new way to make a difference.
Yeah. And it raises an interesting question, don't you think? What does it mean to lose a core part of yourself and be forced to adapt? To find new strength in unexpected places? Marcus's story is a testament to the power of human resilience.
It is. Wow. Okay. So that was intense. Let's move on to our second story. The Minstrel with a Musket.
Oh, this was fun.
This one is totally different. We're introduced to Finn, our bard, who has traded his lute for a musket.
It's an unusual choice, to say the least.
It's definitely not your typical bardic instrument, and we're thrown right into the action. Finn, with his new weapon, and Elara, they're under attack by bandits.
Yeah. And Elara, she's not exactly thrilled with Finn's new musical direction. She's like, why a musket? What happened to the lute?
Right. I mean, it's a valid question. Bards and muskets don't usually go hand in hand.
Not usually, no. But Finn, he's got a surprise in store. This isn't your average musket. It doesn't fire bullets. It fires musical notes.
Wait, it fires musical notes?
Yeah, may I do that?
Okay, so this is where things get a little wild. How does that even work?
The sources don't get into the specifics, but it's clear that this is a magical musket. And the kind of magic it uses, it's tied to music. So instead of lead and gunpowder, Finn's firing off notes, and each note, it has a different effect.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Like, what kind of effects?
Well, in this scene, he fires off a blue note, and it causes one of the bandits to start waltzing.
He makes him dance.
Yeah.
In the middle of a fight.
Yep. And then he fires another note, and another bandit just stares at the sky, completely transfixed. It's almost comical.
It's like a cartoon.
But with very real stakes.
Yeah.
Because while the bandits are confused and disoriented, Finn and Elara are using this opportunity to fight back.
So it's effective, even if it is a little strange.
Very effective. And the bandit leader, he recognizes this for what it is. He calls it sorcery, and he's not happy about it. He orders his men to kill Finn.
Well, yeah, if someone started shooting musical notes at me, I'd probably be a little freaked out, too.
It definitely goes against everything they understand about combat. But Finn, he's not backing down. He fires off a dissonant chord, this harsh, jarring sound.
I'm guessing that didn't make the bandits want to dance.
Not exactly. It disrupted their attack, gave Finn and Alara a chance to push back. And Alara, she's not just standing around watching. She's described as being very skilled with a sword and dagger. And she uses that skill to disarm several of the bandits.
So they make a pretty good team, even if their fighting styles are a bit unorthodox.
It's a great example of how different skills can work together. Finn with his musical magic and Alara with her more traditional combat skills.
And the musket, it keeps on delivering. A mournful melody slows down the bandits. A jaunty jig turns their weapons into snakes. It's like a whole symphony of chaos.
And it really highlights the versatility of this weapon. Finn's not limited to one type of attack. He can adapt his music to the situation. It makes him a very unpredictable opponent.
But the bandit leader, he's still a threat. What happens to him?
He tries to rush Finn, but Alara, she's too quick for him. She throws her dagger, and it triggers a hidden trap. A net made of moonlight. Talk about thinking on your feet.
Whoa, she trapped him with moonlight.
Yeah, it's described as being very beautiful and very effective.
I bet. Okay, so bandit leader down. What about the rest of them?
Just when things are looking pretty dicey, reinforcements arrive. Elven archers, led by a woman described as having very sharp eyes.
Elves with bows and arrows. It's a classic fantasy image, but it works.
Oh, it definitely works. They make short work of the remaining bandits. And then, well, the elf leader turns her attention to Finn and his unusual weapon.
Yeah, I bet she's got some thoughts about that.
She calls it an abomination, a perversion of both music and weaponry. And she's not wrong. But Finn, he's so enthusiastic about it. He calls it innovation, progress, artistry.
He's definitely proud of his creation.
He is. But the elf leader, she just dryly notes that it's very loud. You can tell she's not impressed.
It's that clash between tradition and innovation, right? The old ways versus the new.
Exactly. And it's a tension you see a lot in these kinds of stories. But the elves, they have a mission. They're there to rescue a kidnapped prince, held captive by an unseelie sorcerer in the forest.
Okay, so the stakes just got a lot higher.
They did. Unseelie magic. That's not something to be trifled with. It's typically associated with darkness, with trickery. It's not good news for the prince.
So Finn, Alara, and the elves set off into the forest, and I'm guessing things get a little spooky.
They do. They hear this unearthly moan.
Okay, that's never a good sign in a forest.
And Alara, she's smart. She asks Finn to sing a shield.
He can do that.
Apparently so. With his music, he creates a shimmering bubble of light around them, protecting them from these spectral creatures that are drawn to the moan.
That musket is seriously versatile.
It is. It can attack, it can defend, it can probably make you a cup of tea if you ask it nicely.
I wouldn't push it. Okay, so they continue through the forest, and they come to a clearing with a tower, but not just any tower.
Right. This tower, it's made of woven branches. It's described as being very organic, almost alive.
So more unseelie magic, I'm guessing.
It definitely has that feel.
Yep.
And Alara, she has a hunch. She thinks that music might be the key to getting inside.
Of course. It all comes back to music, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And Finn, he plays. And as he plays, a section of the tower unwinds, revealing a doorway. It's almost like the tower itself is responding to the music.
That's so cool. It's like the magic of the tower and the magic of the music. They're connected somehow.
Exactly. It suggests a deeper connection between magic and the natural world. And Finn, with his unique abilities, he's able to tap into that.
Okay, so inside the tower.
They find the prince. He's trapped in a cage of thorns. Ouch. Alara, ever practical, she gets to work cutting him free. While Finn, he's using his music to fight off unseen guardians. It's described as fierce music.
I bet.
Like not exactly the kind of tune you'd hum along to.
Right, so they rescue the prince. Everyone makes it out of the tower alive.
And the elves escort them back. The prince is safe. Alara is rewarded for her bravery. And Finn. Well, he's celebrated. People love a good hero, especially one who plays a musical musket.
That's awesome. So our bard turned musketeer, he gets a happy ending.
For now. But the story doesn't end there.
Oh.
Later, they're at an inn, relaxing after their adventure. And Alara, she asks Finn if he's going to keep the musket. I mean, it's a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
But it's also very strange.
Yeah. What does he say?
He admits that tuning it is a bit of a nightmare, which I can only imagine.
Right. Like, how do you even tune a musket that shoots musical notes?
Good question. But he's excited of the possibilities. He talks about duets for disaster and symphonies of sabotage. It's clear that he's just scratching the surface of what this weapon can do.
He's definitely not your typical bard.
No, he's not. And Alara, she just smiles and says, I can't wait to see what you come up with next.
It sounds like they're going to have many more adventures together.
Oh, I'm sure of it. In Finn's story, it's a great example of the power of creativity, of thinking outside the box. He takes something traditionally associated with peace and beauty, music, and turns it into a weapon. A very strange and very effective weapon.
It's inspiring in a way. It shows that solutions can come from the most unexpected places. You just have to be open to new possibilities. So there you have it. Two wildly different tales of action and adventure, fueled by both magic and ingenuity.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You've given us a glimpse into worlds where the rules of combat are constantly being rewritten. In the first story, we saw how loss can lead to unexpected innovation, with Marcus embracing a new form of power. What does it mean to lose your core skills and be forced to adapt? And what kind of power comes with a literal magical weapon? Is the risk always worth the reward?
Those are good questions.
Then in the second story, Finn's story blends the whimsical with the practical, proving that even something as seemingly gentle as music can be a formidable weapon. It makes you wonder what other seemingly disparate elements could be combined to create something extraordinary.
Yeah, it makes you think.
We hope these narratives have sparked your curiosity and given you some aha moments. These stories, while fictional, touch on themes of adaptability, the nature of power, and the unexpected ways solutions can be found. What resonated most with you in these tales? Which character's journey did you find more compelling, and why? We encourage you to keep exploring these ideas. Perhaps these stories will even inspire you in your own endeavors. Thanks for bringing these fascinating sources to the Action Hero podcast. We'll be back soon with more thrilling adventures. Rate and follow for more Action Hero episodes.